Seems to be.
And call this meeting to order. It's 7:01, it looks like. Yeah, so June 3rd meeting of the Conservation Advisory Council. First thing we have to do is review the minutes of the last meeting. Anybody have any objections? No? Motion to accept the minutes as they're written. Okay, and vote on it. Okay.
Second, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That's taken care of. Okay. The next thing is the wetlands of Keller Wetlands application at 56A North Cartwright Road, which is pretty close to the end there. The whole thing is a denial letter from the town building department, which is really some concern that they went ahead with what they had there, but we're really only looking at the proposed plan. And when I looked at that, it sort of looks pretty good to me. I mean, the only thing I had was that.
Is this the little, that's the little narrow one that they tore down, right? Without
Yeah.
permits.
Right.
Well, they took the house down, but apparently the foundation's still there.
Yeah, yeah. And that's all in the notice of disapproval from building department, so we have to accept that. And the proposed plan looks good. I mean, it's staying away from the 100-foot, 75-foot. The only thing I had is that there's an existing power line and utility from the pole that's on the site there that used to feed in. They should just indicate what that's for. It really doesn't matter too much. And they're going to get their power coming in from that pole.
It's way down by the water.
No, it's right up in here somewhere. Right up by the house.
It's by the- it's- Actually, but again, that's utilities. They're allowed to do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want.
So,
It's existing, it says existing pole.
yeah, it is an existing pole and existing lines by the foundation are there. The PVC lines, so that's no big deal. Otherwise, they give a vegetation plan, it looks good. I don't have any real objections to this that I see, so. The only question I had was on the utility line, what they're gonna do with that, and that's up to them, and it's gonna stop anything on that.
But again, the wetlands permit is for the removal of the existing foundation.
Yes.
Which is what we're supposed to comment on.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the question becomes, they had a house there with a permit apparently to put an extension in. And they have a letter of non-jurisdiction from the DEC saying that there's going to be no construction, no work in the wetlands, but there's going to be work in the wetlands because they got to remove the foundation.
Yes.
But there's no DEC permit for that. The letter of non-jurisdiction says everything is landward of the 10-foot and the 100, and the more than 100 feet from the freshwater wetland. So it's beyond the jurisdiction of the Article 24 freshwater wetlands. But they're going to be working within 100 foot of the saltwater wetland to remove the foundation, right?
Yeah.
So they should have a DEC permit, yeah?
That portion of the work. Because they're gonna be working.
And the fact that they had this house, they were going to quote unquote renovate, but then they had demolished it without any permissions. Their Suffolk County Department of Health approval is dated, it's 2021 with the proposed plan.
Right.
This one, yeah. So they knew in 2021 they were going to rip the house out.
Oh, yeah,
Well, why would they put a plan in?
right.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of things going on here that they're not really being very upfront about. But I would like to see a DEC permit for removal of this foundation.
Yes.
How do they know in 2021 that the house
So
is
the
going
letter
to
of non-jurisdiction is just for the freshwater.
Yes. Right,
Okay,
which comes in the other side.
right.
So now, you know, they're removing,
Is that garage gonna stay there?
no, they're ripping that out
Oh,
too.
they are?
Yeah.
Really? That had a whole,
The new house is outside the 100,
right?
but the existing foundation is way into the,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and the septic system abandonment, I don't see any paperwork for that.
Right.
And who was the contractor who did all this work without
He
permit?
got a guy from Oak Island that,
Mm,
sacrificial dude.
Right, but gee, how did the house just disappear? The homeowner didn't know they were tearing his house down? But in 2021, they already applied for the new project,
Right.
and they're here in 2025.
Yeah. Wow.
So this doesn't pass the smell test. I don't get it. So I think there's a lot of questions for Rob, who is the environmental guy.
We can ask.
I guess Matt used to be, but there was something in here that said that Matt was, anyway, whatever.
So we want to get in, like to see.
So they had health department approval already on this or not?
Yeah,
They do.
yeah, the health department, that's dated 2021. So here's your new house, lovely, outside of the wetland, everything's fine, no problem. Somewhere in here is a Department of Health approval.
Yeah.
I would like to at least see a DEC permit.
Yeah, there isn't one.
We can ask for that.
They're required to have it.
That guy's not on tonight, I guess.
Yeah, here we go. So this is the Health Department approval,
Right,
which shows the new house outside of the 100,
right.
right?
Yeah.
2021.
Huh. Wow.
So
And they started this project in 20.
I don't know. Like I said, I went to the building department. I didn't pull the file. I don't know what they did.
Yeah. Wow.
So now they're in 2020, they're like, oh, well, we didn't know we couldn't rip the house down. And well, obviously in 2021, they knew they were.
Yeah.
That was the whole program.
Right,
And they got caught
right.
because the house was there and they put an addition on, but now the house is gone. So they tore the house down without permits, without permission, in the wetlands. So all of that work was done in the wetlands without permits. And now they want to take the existing foundation out of the wetlands. There's no wetland permit for any of that. There's no DEC permit for any of that.
Did they get fined at all on this thing?
DEC doesn't tell us that.
No, I mean the town.
So the town fine,
Yeah, I know of some sort of violation and stuff.
Right.
So once they go to court and they get a fine or whatever, then they can take that contract to the contractor review board.
Pretty sacrificial, so he's fine.
And you still can't work here
Right,
if they lift his license, right?
right.
That was part of the application.
Is that? We didn't have enough package. Yeah,
This was issued in 2011.
Right.
It's on page, I don't know if it's the same one on the website, it's page 31.
They're blanket though, aren't they?
Non-jurisdiction letters remain valid indefinitely unless substantial changes in site conditions have occurred. They're going to rip out this foundation. I think that's pretty substantial, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, freaking out.
But you can do any work without DEC permit. And a town wetland, so we're here for the wetlands permit, but I don't see the DEC.
The only DEC non-jurisdiction is
This is the town
freshwater.
wetlands, so
Yeah, all the way back there, yeah.
I think the freshwater is way out here somewhere.
Yeah,
It's like a
yeah.
kettle hole or something.
Yeah.
So,
So we should require DEC letter.
DEC permit.
permit
Permit
for foundation, yeah.
for work.
Moving the existing foundation.
Then everything else is outside of our jurisdiction.
That's a good call, because I would have figured the letter of non-jurisdiction would have covered all that.
Yeah, right.
That's freshwater.
Yeah.
Yep, no, you're right. That was a good call.
Basically,
No, tidal wetlands, beyond jurisdiction of tidal wetlands.
So they are covered.
No. But the work they were gonna do was outside of there. See, this is very confusing. Portion of the property is landward of the 10-foot contour is beyond the jurisdiction, because it's,
Right.
so the 10-foot is what they're, okay, so they're, very confusing. So they're saying that they're not required to have a permit because they're above the 10-foot
right.
Yeah,
elevation, which I don't see in,
Right here.
I don't know, is it?
that
Setback, what's the?
makes sense to me.
Yeah, on the plan, it shows 10-foot
Yeah,
elevation.
They're beyond the 10-foot, so that's why that,
that's why, right.
all right, I got you.
Yeah, it goes 12 foot and then keeps going.
Yeah. All right, I missed that. But usually anything within 75 feet, they wouldn't require a permit. Just be a question.
We still need a DEC permit.
Clarification.
Clarification.
Is there, say they're
So I'll say DEC,
landward of the 10-foot contour of the tidal wetland, and they're more than 100 foot from the freshwater
That's the
wetland.
contour there.
moving is this.
Yeah, but again, yeah, that's 10, and then moving on up, there's 12,
Yeah, that was, and then,
Yeah.
maybe.
and it goes up and then it goes down
Then it
again.
goes down again, so.
You know, but where we're concerned, it's about 10.
The new construction looks fine.
Right.
For me, for everybody, I guess. I don't understand why the DEC wouldn't, because I thought it was either or. It's either the 10-foot elevation, and they have jurisdiction 300 feet.
300 feet,
Right.
yeah. If they want to.
Right.
But
But if they call for.
But it's all within the 70, this is way closer than 75 feet. But I guess it hits the 12.
yeah,
I just,
But they, they always used to do that 10-foot thing. That's why people could build right against the
sure, both.
bank, you know? And they haven't changed that, right? The 10-foot elevation thing?
well, this letter here,
It says it's
As far as the DEC goes, anyway.
and again, this is Matt Sherman, so you might just maybe ask him that.
This is Rob Herman.
Well, Matt was, in 2020, this
Oh, yeah.
it's clarification of the non-jurisdiction letter
Right.
was from Matt. Well, I guess they scale on that one. That's crazy. So I guess you can be 52 feet from the wetland, or 44 feet from the wetland, as long as you're high enough. And you don't need DEC approval.
Yeah, 10 foot, right, you don't need
Wow.
C, but it's still us.
I didn't realize.
We would still require it, the town.
Well, the town will, that's why they're here for wetlands.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So the DEC, I guess, is the nominate. My bad.
Okay, so we'll take that off the clarification. Okay. So basically,
Good to go.
yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Take a vote on accepting the plans as submitted.
Yeah,
Yes.
second.
Yeah,
Okay,
all in favor?
5.
Still gonna call Matt.
Yeah. He'll be here next meeting.
Is he?
Yeah, Matt gets almost everyone. The one on
Okay.
Randa Parkway, yeah. The plans. 50. Okay.
Or Peconic. Sullivan, he's coming
Yeah,
from?
yeah, it's
Peconic.
Peconic.
It's at Brander.
It's North Silver Beach Road, right?
Yeah, it's along the,
Yeah.
outer beach.
It's for next meeting, so everybody pick that up and they'll sell it. You got it there, packages. Right? Okay, so that's good. Got that one out of the way. Nice and easy. Throw this. Let's see, Rob, I haven't seen him in a long time. Okay. Next thing we have is the site plan review. And basically, CAC just has to look at any site lighting that disturb property line and noise. And I don't know if everybody got there, but it's behind Cornucopia's business there. And they're settled, they're in there. And I don't see any problem. Chris brought up that they're piling stuff in the 10-foot zoning variance from the
It's like
side.
right on the property line. I don't know. I guess that's not an issue,
No, it's like,
except for the neighbors.
well, yeah, that's, I don't see a
But
problem.
there's no structure, so.
No, just piles of bag materials. So there's no lighting being anticipated here, so that's not going to be a problem. For the trucks and the cars coming, that's all. And as far as noise goes, I talked to them and, I mean, the noise was right next door, just moving it down the hill to here. And it's just probably one big truck coming in early.
Unload.
Just drop something.
Yeah, drop
Yeah.
off, so I don't think noise is.
Is he gonna plant material there too, or? Is he gonna?
Oh, yeah, it's
yes,
there.
okay. Oh, yes, okay.
Yeah, he's got it all installed.
He's gonna have another one of those tent guys.
Oh, okay.
But no, like structure.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
only thing I said, and it doesn't matter, is that it says it's a 2-story frame building for Cornucopia. It's only 1 story, but it doesn't, unless they're counting the basement.
That doesn't count.
I know, but to somebody it might, but it's okay. All right, so we just have to accept that we have, there's a separate subcommittee that does the site plan review. So I just have to bring the committee's opinion on it. So let's just take a quick vote. Is it okay?
Seemed fine.
It's fine.
5-0.
Yeah.
Good. But I take care of that.
What's in your purview, Howard?
Lighting and noise, basically. Those two are what the CAC is involved with, basically. So we,
They delineated parking, but we're not really part of that.
no parking, no.
Tons of room in there.
Yeah,
It's a pretty big lot.
there is. I mean, again, it goes over that 10-foot line, but I hope Cornucopia can put up with it, that's all people doing, that's not our purview anyway, so.
You rented it to him, right?
I guess, I don't know, but that's right.
Florence Moore owns that.
No, from,
Oh, she rents from Florence?
She rents them. Yeah, Florence owns the property.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
I don't know what's going to happen to the old building. It's the old site,
Another dead zone.
Calibro?
Calibro, another dead site.
I haven't heard anything about that.
That one there, the big one down the block, couple of restaurants.
Ghost town.
Goes down soon, yeah.
No, I think that's just vacant now.
It is,
It's gonna remain, I think it's gonna remain vacant.
Well,
Maybe
it's like,
Steakhouse will buy it for a parking lot.
they should, yeah.
$3 million.
I think it,
Well, there you go.
but,
Are there town ordinances that deal with leaving properties vacant for too long?
Oh, he's a mow the lawn.
as long as you
That's it.
keep it neat,
I mean,
Okay.
and it's safe, and we have on our property, that shed in Dixon Park there, that's coming down. Ken is supposed to take that down. He hasn't gotten to it yet because it's falling down. I mean,
both the buildings?
no, just the front one.
The
And I
one
think-
closer to the pond.
Yeah, that one there. The other one they're using, they store the.
They use both of them.
It's Not really, no.
Peek inside your stuff.
I'm not really using the other one, that's the kind of thing, but
Roof
it's
leaks a
got
little.
asbestos siding and stuff, so, there was some thought of having
It's called mineral fiber.
mineral
Don't
fiber.
use
So
asbestos.
that's,
Creates a whole
John
other issue.
Samantha will get mad at me, huh? But anyway, I don't see what's going to happen with the existing building, and I don't know. Maybe it's another site approval or something. I don't know.
Recognizing that we're not the Hamptons, but it does appear that they have regulations associated with vacant storefronts. Because you think about it, if you had too much of that, it would absolutely destroy your town and its reputation. So, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not our town.
But there's no,
There's no,
I mean,
They're not all contiguous, so it's not as deadly here, I understand, but it still isn't a, really positive.
Southampton.
What, I'm sorry. Well, Southampton does, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure that I understand precisely but it says Southampton, I just Googled that real fast.
Right.
Building considered vacant if no one is conducting a lawfully licensed business within it, or if no legal or equitable owners, tenants, or owner occupants are residing there on a permanent, non-transient basis. The town of Southampton also has specific regulations for vacant storefronts and requires permits for changes in occupancy. So I don't know what those regulations are, but there are some. Yeah, yeah, yes,
But I don't think the town has that.
granted.
But we got an awful lot of
and
them.
again, I mean, a vacant building is just, until it becomes, I mean, the town has dealt with other vacant properties that have, structural issues, and
Right.
they've, made the people take them down.
Right,
As long as there's no danger to the public, or, they mow the lawn, and
yeah, no, that would be really clear.
the town doesn't have any issue with it.
So how about the one up on Monantic Road there, Cal Grove, Southern, up by you there, the barn, that boat.
What's wrong with it? It's not falling down, like the roof's not
Not falling
collapsing.
down yet, but.
At the time, everything's gonna fall down.
Yeah, that's true. It's just an eyesore, that's all.
Why,
They hold public hearings, yeah, let's see here.
Yeah,
Ending this, yeah.
Shelter Island's a little,
Right, no, I recognize that we're different and want to be, but, but we also probably are not wanting to encourage
towns.
lots of, we want to have a little downtown area, and there's master planning, and, towns that have master planning usually think about this kind of issue.
right,
Calabro's got for rent signs and everything. So he's looking at it.
Probably covered,
that's right. So,
yeah. Well, he's specific, like what had been the pizza parlor, it says restaurant only. So, I mean, I just noticed that when I was dropping the dog.
Otherwise, he'd have to get a change of use and the site plan. and-
right,
Yeah, right, which he's
That's
not willing to do.
the use, but the fact that the building is vacant, it's really, you can't make somebody rent it.
No, correct.
It says that the restaurants are unrentable because of the water.
Well, really, he had a deli in there.
No, I know that, but he said as of now.
Well, as of now.
that it went bad since,
Well, with the nitrogen.
or maybe new regulations too, with-
That may be
Yeah.
Suffolk County Board of Health, because they're the ones that regulate the water.
Yeah,
They may say, you can't open until you have this
right, up to,
system. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't want to pay for that, so.
But they describe them as unsightly, unsafe, which we're saying these are probably not, and have a negative impact on the aesthetic character of the village's historic business district and their surrounding
that would
properties.
be,
That would be two lawyers.
two different lawyers fighting that, that would be,
What's the definition of
we don't have a town lawyer yet, do we? Permanent?
No,
Not yet, no. So, but that's something else, that's not for us to discuss.
right, no, exactly. Well, I'm into definitions, so let me get back here. Chapter 108, vacant buildings and storefronts, and this is the Village of Southampton. I'm sure East has something like that too. I remember having talked to somebody about this. They do police it somehow, or discourage it somehow,
Yeah, it's-
recognizing the, property rights and all of that, which obviously has to be taken into account, but you can definitely do more than
Just,
not anything, yeah.
But then, the other question is, the building here across the street from the police department and also the pizza parlor, they're in a B1 zone, which is restricted to very finite uses. So the town at one point had been talking about getting rid of that and just making it all B zone. I don't know where that ever went.
Yeah, see, I mean, there might be some way to look at that to encourage
Government
viable
buildings,
businesses.
professional doctor, that kind of thing.
Exactly, because you want to have jobs for people too. So, I mean, businesses are good for employment. So, yeah, just to not do anything seems like a missed
Poke the bear or anything, but
opportunity.
the B1 zone is sort of a,
Yeah, there's no one's gonna come in and set up a law office or,
yeah.
in the middle of Shelter Island town and
Yeah, no, that's not going to be terribly lucrative, I agree. But there are things
You
you,
could always use another real estate business.
right, exactly, there we go.
you put them all in one building. Then the fights get stopped.
summer rentals,
They're not a little.
That's what they should do with the summer rentals, insist that they have an IA system installed. Because,
Oh, the Airbnb guys?
yeah, I mean, they come in there with, by me, next door, last year, they had like 25 cars there one weekend, because people come out to the island, they rent the other little houses, but the one with the pool, that's their friend, they all go over there and use it, so
Right.
it's kind of it's an open door to somebody, but that's the way it is,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway,
We've done our complaining for those, so. The Roxanne, non-invasive species list up.
Yes, okay.
A small little paragraph.
Yeah, great, very quick. So Howard and I have communicated with Tim Pertel, who obviously is the resident expert on this island as it relates to all these things. And Tim, at Howard's recommendation, not only updated the list, but also provided photos. So it's really nice. So the non-invasive list appears to be the way Tim wants it, right? And the photos. But we don't have the invasives. We don't have a parallel list of
And he's
invasive.
working on that, so.
Exactly. So,
Deer-resistant plants or just ones that?
No, just
no, just ones that are, yeah, he didn't specify that at all.
the deer.
I mean, he has a nice little lead in on why native matters.
Right.
So he did, yeah, I think that it's really nicely done. The photos are good. The explanations are really helpful. We probably ought to get up what it is that he's got now, even though he doesn't have what we originally were asking, which was, let's get the list and photos of these things we don't want in. But it's planting season, and, I know he's working as fast as he can, so we may want to ask Jessica to get that up on, the
Yeah,
site.
he beat back the mugwort down there on West Neck.
Yeah, right.
Surprised he was able to do that.
Yeah, no.
Well,
Yeah, no, he's-
why don't you keep in touch with him, see where he is now?
Okay, yeah, I will. We just,
And the next meeting, because he's gonna
Yes.
be busy because one of the
right,
next item, new business, August 23rd is the Green Options Fair. So, he's busy with that and has some help with that, but are we gonna participate in it? Have a booth? Do we want to have a booth? I mean, usually we just have this item.
Handouts?
Handout, that's, if anybody thinks of some more handouts, it'd be good.
mhm,
But it's gonna be the same place it was last year in front of the school on that street there, so.
Right.
But if we have to man that booth, so we need volunteers.
yeah.
Get one of those robots.
They're going to be really useful, aren't they?
I
Yeah,
can't wait.
yeah, I know.
But I think we should participate in it. It's a nice little outing.
I think so
People
too.
come by and talk, so, but all we can do, so maybe for the next meeting, whoever can say, well, I can be there in the morning, afternoon, volunteer for it, be good.
We could get a, sign up list next meeting then? Is that what you're saying?
sign up
Yeah,
for-
absolutely. That sounds good. Is everybody okay with that? Chris, you're, okay.
I mean, if it's,
Head is working on cleaning up the islands.
You never know.
You never,
We don't know, yeah, exactly, but yeah,
I mean, if it's, you do 8 to 10, I'll do 10 to 12, you do 12.
exactly, yeah, that's what we
I
had.
don't want to sit there all day.
No, right. And it's hot. No, nobody should sit there all day, exactly. Yeah, and it's monotonous, but 2-hour shifts are good.
And then you walk around and you look at the crafts fair and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
and talk to other people.
Yeah. So if there's other things to do, somebody comes and relieves you and you go for a walk and then come back.
Yeah.
Hey,
All right, so,
And there are politicians that come through, talking about how pro-environmental they are, and Tim comes over with what he's working on. Yeah, so, I mean, there's some good cross-pollination of ideas, I think.
like I say, I'll do a couple hours,
yeah.
Yeah.
You just
morning or
Fine, next-
whatever.
meeting, if we can have a list, everybody just say, I can do this.
I know it's extremely, a very busy time for everybody. We're at the end of August, but we really don't get the traffic. For all the people who are out there, there's not a lot of attendees. We end up talking to each other a lot.
Yeah.
So I guess I was wondering if maybe, who's in charge of this? I mean, is there any kind of a marketing
The Green Options Committee, right? They handle that,
options committee? Okay,
which is Tim Pertel, basically.
which is Tim again. Okay, yeah, because all roads.
When you talk to them about the invasives, say,
Talk to him about the marketing part, but yeah, because it seems like such a missed opportunity in many ways.
he's so busy doing things.
Yeah, well, and he's probably not a marketer,
He's good, so.
Well, he's good at a lot, that's for sure, but promotion.
Saturday is the Fresh Pond Cocktail Party at the Ram's Head.
Really?
Yeah.
That's right, I saw that, yeah.
Saturday.
Getting some more funding to finish up the gap, to
Cleaning up of the.
get that thing going. But hopefully, I guess it's going to start up this summer.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
They haven't submitted, I had asked them to submit, Peter Grant, to submit a plan of the structure that's going into wetlands there.
Right.
I haven't seen that.
Is there anything land-based or is it all just floating?
It's land-based one end,
Oh, yeah?
because they got to bring in stuff and attach to it. I think there's power there, I don't know, stuff to it.
Yeah, we'll find out this weekend, probably at the,
Okay, I got it.
I'll probably
If you could
discuss it.
update us, but.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, yeah, because
and who's selling tickets?
I think you get them online,
On,
but it's in the paper.
it's in the paper, okay.
It's a good thing to get that cleaned up. I'm just thinking back when I was a little kid, snorkeling in there, it was great. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, it's perfect. It's beautiful.
You know, to see the thing just go to hell in my lifetime is pretty sad.
It's really terrible, and it's like a little Shangri-La,
Well,
yeah.
it's an actual lake. It's
Yeah, it's
very
amazing.
unique.
Well, if you want
It
IV
is.
systems, that's where you should start.
Well, that helps, yeah, that helps a lot.
Yeah,
There's a few around the pond. I think there's like 4 or 5.
There's some direct pipe.
oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, there was.
There
used to be.
We cut a couple of those off.
Yeah.
The big thing is if the 2% committee could pick up that property that's adjacent to
The road there?
well, the open field, across the street from their house, because they want to kind of keep the house and the barn. But if that got acquired, then the rest of the wetlands area, it'd be pretty easy to.
Yeah, because they got the one next door.
Yeah, the Needham Tuttle, they have that.
be a
We
nice-
really own that whole area around that. It's a huge place. You could do a lot with that.
It's a couple of small little preservation trails in and stuff, like properties,
Yeah,
but
but just to keep that scenic vista from
Absolutely.
some shoebox house
yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean,
and the
it's
fence and the
absolutely, you're right. Chain link,
pine trees and,
like Queens, yeah, right. Yeah, no, right.
that'd be a great thing. 'Cause then the other part of it could be worked on over the years, but, because that wouldn't really be developed
So
very,
is that the top priority
Yeah.
to acquire?
yeah,
That'll be the next one?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And is,
They're working on it, but hopefully it happens. I
okay,
just see people stop and pull the damn things, the brochures out. Someone's gonna buy it, because that just,
Somebody will, yeah.
everything's gotten ridiculous today.
It's, so.
God, yeah, that's scary.
Population has increased.
That's all the way down to the creek that goes behind all those other houses.
It goes all the way to
Uh,
the whole back of that wetlands area that Wade's Beach backs up to.
Who's chairing the preservation group now that Gordon has transitioned?
Tui Brayson, is it? Brayson.
Okay,
I think the
I hope
next week
Julie is on it.
Week after, so
Yeah.
I missed this one because Jessica, they didn't give an agenda for the last meeting. I hope they have one for this one. Good. Yeah, for CPF.
We have one, it's not complete yet, but.
No, that's
on
okay,
there,
as long as
so
it's
not
coming out.
posted yet.
Yeah, okay,
Is it-
no, that's fine, I just, I.
Is it next week, next Monday, or, oh, it is?
8:30, yeah.
Okay. Might go to that. That's good.
Yeah.
No, are they
Through the pot.
having what they need in the way of financial resources to purchase?
Can't discuss ongoing contract negotiations.
I see.
I'd like to hear that.
That's it. You should be the attorney.
Thank you.
Can't discuss those items.
She's good, yeah, got it. Thank you. Never, I want you to do that.
Still gonna be getting money, so, the accounting is there, so.
Yeah,
That's good.
that'd be great. That
That
would,
sounds good, yep.
What is that right next to it there that we have, that's preserved property there, off of, next to, whatchamacallit's property, on the road there. Across from, there. It says some, I'll find out, see what it is, but, yeah, I would like to go to that meeting, but there was not an agenda for the last one, I said, I'm not going.
I think it just didn't get properly posted.
Okay,
It was just,
yeah, because it's
It happens.
switchover,
Right, human error.
they're in a transition period, and
I haven't done the June one yet, though. That's next Monday. This coming, okay.
yeah, there's not finalized on it yet.
right, that's okay.
Okay.
It's coming out.
Thank you.
It's at 8:30 in the morning, so nice
Yeah.
and early,
Yeah, and what day is this?
Monday.
Monday.
What's the date? June,
The 8th,
June 8th?
June 8th, Monday. This coming Monday, okay, yeah.
That's the
Uh,
best way to put it, this kind of.
Right,
sign.
that's it, right, thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
any old business to discuss, anything from the town? You guys busy enough? I see so much going on, it's unbelievable,
Is there a town attorney? As
We
yet?
have an interim town attorney that we've been.
An interim, okay, I see. Good,
At least we have that,
yeah, that is good.
He's very good. I mean,
Okay,
it's really-
great.
Okay. The motion to adjourn, get on early,
I so move.
yes, adjourn, close the meeting. Very good, thank you for coming.
Yeah, absolutely, thank you, Howard.